You think this is just how life is? Stressful, uninspired, exhausting? What if I told you it's not? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the 5 signs you're living the wrong life path and how to fix it before it's too late. Imagine waking up every day with purpose and clarity. That's what we're aiming for here. But ignore these signs? You risk wasting years feeling stuck. Stay tuned, because I'm about to reveal what most people never realize about their lives. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to take control. Let's face it, if you wake up every day dreading what's ahead, it's not just a bad day problem. It's a clear signal something deeper is off. Life shouldn't feel like an endless loop of uninspired tasks or meaningless routines. Yet so many people accept this as normal, convincing themselves it's just how adulthood works. But here's the truth. A lack of passion is your inner compass telling you you're heading in the wrong direction. Think about it. When was the last time you felt excited about what you do? Not just a fleeting moment, but genuine, lasting excitement. If you can't answer that, you're not broken and you're not alone. You're simply ignoring the path you're meant to be on. The good news? This can change. It starts with one simple step: reconnecting with the things that once lit you up. Ask yourself, what did you enjoy before life got busy, before responsibilities took over? Was it painting, writing, playing sports, or dreaming of a career that truly excites you? Reclaiming your passion doesn't mean overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about taking small, intentional steps. Spend just 10 minutes a day exploring something new or revisiting an old interest. It might feel insignificant at first, but those small actions add up, and before you know it, you'll start feeling a spark again. Ignore this sign, and you risk settling for a life where every day feels like an uphill battle. But act on it, and you open the door to a life filled with energy, curiosity, and purpose. Isn't that worth exploring? You've been telling yourself, this is just how life is, stressful, overwhelming, and exhausting. But deep down, you know this isn't sustainable. The constant stress, the racing thoughts, the dread of tomorrow. It's not normal, and it's definitely not a sign of being on the right path. Think about it. You wake up already feeling drained, and no matter how much you push through, the anxiety lingers like a shadow. That's your body and mind screaming at you that something needs to change. You're not just tired, you're misaligned. But here's the truth you might not want to hear. This stress isn't going to fix itself. You need to take control. Start by identifying what's really causing your anxiety. Is it the job you hate? The relationships that drain you? The goals you're chasing for someone else's approval? Whatever it is, it's time to call it out. The fix doesn't have to be drastic. Begin with boundaries. Yes, boundaries. Start saying no to things that don't serve you. Carve out time in your day to breathe, to reflect, to just be. And don't underestimate the power of mindfulness. Taking even 5 minutes to sit in silence or focus on your breathing can do wonders to reset your mind and lower stress. If you ignore this sign, you're risking burnout, and let's be honest, you deserve better than that. But if you take action now, you'll start to feel lighter, more in control, and more connected to a life that feels right for you. Isn't it time to stop surviving and start thriving? You're doing everything you're supposed to, yet it feels like you're going nowhere. It's like being stuck on a treadmill, moving constantly but never making real progress. Sound familiar? That's a surefire sign you're off track. Feeling stuck isn't about laziness or failure. It's your mind's way of telling you that the life you're living doesn't align with what you truly want. Let's be real. How often do you catch yourself daydreaming about a different life, a different career, a new place to live, or a fresh start? That inner voice isn't random. It's a call to action. Ignoring it only leads to more frustration and a deeper sense of being lost. But here's the good news. Getting unstuck is possible, and it's simpler than you think. Start by asking yourself one question. What do I really want? Forget the expectations of others, forget what's realistic, and just be honest. What excites you? What gives you energy? Write it down, even if it feels silly or impossible. Next, break it into tiny, achievable steps. Maybe it's learning a new skill, reaching out to someone who inspires you, or dedicating 10 minutes a day to something you love. These small steps create momentum, and momentum is the key to breaking free from feeling stuck. If you ignore this sign, you risk staying in the same place for years, wondering why nothing feels right. But by taking that first step, even the smallest one, you set yourself on a path toward clarity and purpose. And isn't that the direction you've been searching for? Let's be honest. How much of your life is truly yours? Are the choices you've made guided by your own dreams and desires? Or are you chasing what someone else said you should do? If your decisions are built around pleasing others, your family, friends, or society, you're not on your path. You're living someone else's story. Think about it. Are you in a career because it's safe or because it excites you? Are your goals driven by your passions or by the fear of disappointing someone? If this sounds familiar, it's a glaring sign that you're off track. And here's the kicker. No matter how much you achieve for others, it'll never feel fulfilling if it's not aligned with you. So, how do you fix this? First, stop and ask yourself, whose voice am I listening to? Is it yours or someone else's? Identify what you truly want, even if it feels uncomfortable or goes against what's expected of you. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Next, practice saying no. It might feel scary at first, but every no to something that doesn't align with you is a yes to something that does. Start small, set boundaries, and remember, you don't have to justify your decisions to anyone. The risk of ignoring this sign? You'll wake up one day realizing you've lived a life that doesn't feel like yours. But by reclaiming your path, you'll discover the freedom and fulfillment that comes from living authentically. So, are you ready to choose your life over theirs? Here's the hard truth. If you're not growing, you're not just standing still, you're falling behind. Life is meant to be a journey of learning, evolving, and expanding your potential. But if you feel stuck in the same routines, with no new skills, ideas, or experiences pushing you forward, think about it. When was the last time you felt challenged in a good way? When did you step out of your comfort zone to try something new? If your answer is, I can't remember, that's your wake-up call. Staying stagnant might feel safe for now, but it leads to frustration, boredom, and a nagging sense that you're capable of more. So, how do you fix it? Start by seeking growth opportunities, big or small. Maybe it's learning a new skill, taking up a hobby you've always been curious about, or reading a book that challenges your thinking. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, people who push you to be better. Growth doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's about progress, not perfection. If you choose to ignore this sign, you risk spending years wondering why life feels unfulfilling. But if you take even one small step today, you'll open the door to a life of purpose, excitement, and continuous improvement. Isn't it time to stop playing small and start becoming the person you know you're meant to be? Most people never realize that recognizing yourself walking on the wrong life path isn't easy until it's too late. Why? Because it's so much easier to stay busy, to distract yourself with routines, and to convince yourself that this is just how life is supposed to feel. Society conditions us to believe that stress, dissatisfaction, and a lack of excitement are normal. You're told to suck it up, to keep pushing through, and to prioritize responsibilities over happiness. And let's be real, when you're caught up in the daily grind, who has time to reflect? But ignoring these signs only keeps you stuck in a cycle of frustration and unfulfillment. The truth is, noticing these signs requires slowing down and being honest with yourself. It's about asking the hard questions. Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Is this the life I truly want? And yes, those questions can feel uncomfortable. But that discomfort? It's the first step toward real change. So, you've recognized the signs, you're off track. Now what? Don't worry, getting back on the right path doesn't require some massive overnight transformation. It's about small, intentional steps that guide you toward the life you're meant to live. And here's the best part. You can start today. Step 1 is simple but powerful. Take a pause. Give yourself space to reflect. Grab a notebook or open the Notes app on your phone and write down what a fulfilling life looks like to you. Not to your family, not to society, to you. What does happiness look like? What makes you excited to wake up in the morning? Be honest, even if it feels unrealistic. Next, look at where you are right now and identify what's out of alignment. Is it your job? Your relationships? How do you spend your free time? Write those down too. Seeing the gap between where you are and where you want to be is the first step to bridging it. Now, choose one small action you can take today to move closer to your ideal life. Maybe it's signing up for a class, setting a boundary with someone who drains you, or even spending 10 minutes on something you love. Remember, progress doesn't happen all at once. It's about consistent, deliberate steps. And here's the most important part. Stay patient. Realigning your life takes time, but every small action creates momentum. Ignore these steps, and you risk staying stuck in a life that doesn't feel like yours. But take action now, and you'll slowly build a life that feels purposeful, exciting, and truly aligned with who you are. Isn't that worth the effort? Let's move forward, one step at a time. Finding the right path is one thing, but staying on it? That's where the real work begins. Life has a way of pulling you back into old habits, distractions, and even the expectations of others. But staying aligned doesn't have to be complicated. It's about building habits and a mindset that keep you moving forward. First, make self-check-ins a regular part of your routine. Once a week, take 10 minutes to ask yourself, am I still heading in the direction I want to go? Reflect on what's working, what's not, and adjust as needed. This simple habit keeps you aware and in control of your journey. Second, surround yourself with the right people. Who you spend time with can either push you closer to your goals or pull you further away. Choose friends, mentors, and even online communities that inspire you, challenge you, and encourage you to grow. Positive influence is one of the strongest tools for staying on track. Third, stay adaptable. Life is unpredictable and your path might change along the way. That's okay. Don't fear course corrections. They're part of growth. The key is to remain flexible and trust yourself to navigate whatever comes your way. Finally, celebrate progress, no matter how small. Every step forward, every little win, is proof that you're moving in the right direction. Acknowledging these victories keeps you motivated and focused. If you ignore this step, it's easy to fall back into old patterns and lose the clarity you've worked so hard to gain. But by staying intentional, reflective, and adaptable, you'll not only stay on the right path, you'll continue growing and thriving in ways you never imagined. Isn't that the life you deserve? It's not too late. No matter how far you've gone down the wrong path, no matter how stuck or lost you feel, you can always turn things around. The fact that you're here, watching this, shows you're already taking the first step, awareness. And that's huge. Life isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Recognizing the signs and taking small, consistent actions is all it takes to shift your direction. You have the power to create a life that feels purposeful, exciting, and true to who you are. It won't happen overnight, but every step you take gets you closer to where you're meant to be. Don't let fear or doubt stop you. The biggest regret people have isn't failing, it's staying stuck. But you don't have to be one of them. You're capable of more than you think, and it starts by believing in yourself enough to take that first step. So, where do you go from here? Start small. Reflect, reset, and realign. This is your life, your path, and your chance to create something extraordinary. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It's not too late to begin. If this video resonated with you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You never know who else might need this message. And remember, the right path isn't about being perfect. It's about feeling right. You've got this. Let's make it happen.